Yo, top of the morning, man. Today is December the 5th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Bunch of games on the board for today. I think it's 8 games on the board for today. I handicapped a couple of them, so a couple of them I want to talk out with you guys. My guys in the comment section, but we're going to jump right into it for today. Yesterday, one official play for me, which was Detroit team total up and over 103.5. Easy winner there. I need more nights like yesterday. Didn't even have to sweat that one out at all. Just kind of took my time with the card yesterday. When the news came out that Jrue Holiday and Jason Tatum wasn't going to play, just kind of looked at some advanced metrics with those two guys off the floor. And of course, Boston defense gets a lot worse. So that was a winner. What I sent out to the members yesterday, hopefully we can build on that today. Also talked about the Heat. Easy winner there. Brooklyn, first half was not a winner, but they got the job done for a game. The Pacers continue to look like absolute trash, but I knew it wasn't going to be good for the Pacers. I did talk about the Pacers. I didn't play them. I talked about the Pacers. I thought Nembhard potentially could play in the second leg of a back-to-back. He did not. And then I saw Cam Johnson got ruled in, and I was like, Cam Johnson got ruled in, and I was like, that does not set up well for the Pacers at all. A couple things that I talked about. Timberwolves was a winner last night as well. But let's jump into it for today. I'll go through a couple of the comments. We'll talk about jaXon as we always do, and then we'll jump right into it. Let's see if we got anybody here with me this morning. Bitsy joined up as a member again. Appreciate you, Bitsy. Jihar says, good morning. Had half for the mortgage on Miami last night. Let's go. I'm glad you cashed it, man. He says, Rob Pelinka owes Laker fans an apology for JJ Redick hire. My goodness. I'm not going to touch too much on that, but I don't know how much Rob Pelinka can control the effort on the floor. When you give up 134 points, that's effort, especially when you got rim protectors like Anthony Davis. I don't know how much I would put on Rob Pelinka. I think that's more on the players, but hey, hopefully if they continue to play like that, it's an easy way for us to get all the Christmas presents we want because we know exactly what to bet. We'll see how it goes, though. What's up to my guy, Mark? Andrew in here says Orlando -5.5 was tough. Yeah, I was thinking about this morning, Andrew. I'm not going to take too long because I want to jump into the card, but I'm going to do like I'm working out this morning. And I'm thinking to myself, I want to do like a top tips for sports betting, just ways to like things to avoid. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I'm going to do a top 5, top 10 things to avoid, because I do think when people get the end of these numbers, sometimes they end up with losers. When it might be more profitable to either stay off the game or just go on the opposite side. So we'll see how it goes. But I was thinking about that this morning with Orlando -5.5. Shout out to Philly. They played hard even without Paul George last night. What up to my guy, Justin? GLB Bets in here this morning. He says, let's keep it rolling today. I know he was on the Nets yesterday. Got him some money. Got him some cash last night. Gaming says he lost some money with the Pacers last night. He says, blow it up, man. He says he's never betting on them again. What's up to my guy Merrill in here, Charles in here, Reem in here, Peasy in here. What's up, Christopher? He says, great looking play yesterday. Let's build and start a run. That's what we need to do, man. LJ says, top of the morning, Chris. What up, LJ? Hope all is well with you down in Houston. He says, Wizards team total under at home. Let's cash it. We're going to jump into that one. And let's do just that. Let's get into the show for today. First game up. Well, before we do that, let's talk about jaXon. So yesterday I told you guys jaXon like Miami. Winner. Easy winner. Man, you said it and forget it with Miami last night. Today, jaXon, and I see a lot of people continue to sign up for it. Nobody really sending me feedback, but I guess it is what it is. jaXon likes, what is jaXon like today? jaXon likes, let's see. So I always do the first game on the slate to see what jaXon likes. jaXon likes the Cavs. jaXon likes the Cavs, and jaXon likes the under 237.5. As far as the under goes, this is while both teams have been explosive offensively, Cleveland's strong rim defense and Denver's inefficiency inside the arc could limit scoring. Additionally, the Cavs have gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. The Nuggets are coming off a high-scoring game, which could lead to some regression as well. Okay. And then as far as why I like the Cavs, it says their dominance at home, superior offensive efficiency. Denver's defensive struggles make the Cavs the better pick. They've consistently covered spreads in similar situations, and their ability to exploit Denver's weakness at the rim should give them the edge. So we're gonna jump into it, but me and jaXon, we tag team partners today, baby. Hopefully we can bring the bread home. Shout out to jaXon, man. Y'all check jaXon out if you guys are interested. There's a promo code in the description of the video if everybody's interested in signing up. Get that 50% off if you're going to do so. Let's jump into it for today. We got first game up. I talked about it already. I set these lines last night, so I'm not going to go through and even update them. I will tell you guys what the updated numbers are, just because I do have that available. Let me just pull it over here to this screen, and I'll tell you guys what the updated numbers are, but I wasn't going through and touching all of it because, like I said, I still got some handicapping to do. This was a game that I did do a deep dive into yesterday, though. Nuggets and Cavs, probably going to be the best game on the board for today, even though the Kings and the Grizzlies could potentially be the best game of the day as well. Let's jump into this one, man. So we got a Denver team, first of a 3-game road trip, only 1 day of travel as well to get from Denver all the way to Cleveland yesterday. Denver is 10-4 straight up, but just 9-2 against the spread since the beginning of last season when they're playing in the non-conference game with less than 2 days rest. That was the one thing I wanted to kind of look at, because I know Denver typically beats up on the East, but they some of those spots they typically rested. So most of these games that were favorite, of course, like I said, 10-4 straight up, but 9-2 against the number since the beginning of last season when they're playing non-conference games with less than 2 days rest. Denver hasn't won back-to-back games since November the 8th and the 10th. They beat the Miami Heat, and then they beat the Dallas Mavericks. November the 10th. That's 5 days from being a whole month ago. Their last 8 games, they've alternated. Win-loss, 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 win-loss. We just saw them lose to the Clippers, right? And then they come home and they beat Golden State without Draymond. Denver is 3-6-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. On the opposite side, we go Cleveland. Coming off 1 day's rest. 3rd straight home game for them. Back-to-back wins, back-to-back covers against the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards. So no travel, no look-ahead spot. I forgot I think they play Charlotte coming up, but it's not tomorrow, anything like that. And when I looked at the Cavs against the West so far this season, they've been very, very dominant. 3-0 straight up and against the spread in home games versus the West this season. They beat the Lakers when the Lakers were good. Like, the Lakers were like one of the better teams in the NBA. They smoked the Lakers. They smoked the Warriors and the Pelicans. Beat all 3 of those teams by 19 points or more. And you don't really get too much for beating the Pelicans by 19, but they did beat the Pelicans by 19 as well. All 3 of those games were at home. Injury report. We know that on the Denver side, Aaron Gordon recently came back. He will be active for this game today, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's listed as game time decision, but I think he's more probable than questionable. And he is. And Ty Jerome got an illness. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell left the game the other day. I think Darius Garland ran into Jonas Valanciunas, but he did return. I think at that point they were winning by like 120 against the Wizards, so they didn't need him to go back in. And then Donovan Mitchell also left the game, but neither one of them said that they were injured or like won't be a part of the game. So neither one of them on the injury report here. As far as head-to-head splits, the last time that these 2 teams played last season, both home teams won, and both home teams covered. Both games went over, but we had low totals. They were 215.5 and 217.5. 4 of the last 5 games have actually gone up and over the total as well, but we got a super high total. And this total was at 235.5 yesterday when I first started handicapping it about 4:30 yesterday evening. It's up to 237, so a lot of money coming in on the over here in this spot. I'm going through it last night, like doing all my due diligence. I think it's a Cavs spot. I absolutely do. I know you got to deal with Jokic on the, on one side. He's been super elite. Just Jokic has been like top, like just crazy how good Jokic has been. And that's a lot to deal with. I get that. But I'm looking through specifically the last 5 games. Denver has not been trustworthy defensively. And we know what the Cavs can do offensively. They can really, really score the basketball. But let me stick with the Cavs offense versus the defense of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Versus the defense of the Denver Nuggets first. So I'm looking at the Cavs offense. Their offense actually has taken a step back just a little bit. They have not been as great recently have the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I think that there's reason for that. I look at the Cavs offense. They're still 8th offensively over the full season, scoring about 111 points per 100 possessions. But last 5 games, offense is actually down to 18th. They're scoring 112.7 points per 100 possessions. And I think it's warranted, right? You go through and look at who they played. They scored 118 against the Wizards. That was pretty easy. But they played the Celtics before that. The Hawks have been playing a little bit better defensively. Their offense didn't look as good against the Hawks. The Raptors have played a little bit better defensively as well. And they had a slow-paced game against the Pelicans. So those are about the last 5 or 6 games for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So their offense hasn't been scoring 135 points like they were doing at the beginning of the season. But this is still, even with their offensive numbers coming down, it's still the 3rd best offense in the NBA, 1st in effective field goal percentage. That's important because what do the Cavs want to do? They want to shoot a ton of threes. This team shoots the 7th most threes in the NBA. They shoot the... Hold on, my fault. I got this wrong. Let me change this real quick. All right, so the Cavs want to shoot a ton of threes, right? Yes, they are currently number 1 team in the NBA in 3-point shots in general, in accuracy, number 1 in above the break 3-point accuracy. What has Denver been struggling with? Guarding the 3-point line. Denver, don't look now, it's crazy. Denver last 5 games actually defending the 3-point shot at the 3rd worst in the NBA, allowing teams to shoot 42.5% from the 3-point line. They're gonna have to tighten that up because Cleveland gonna be jacking. We know that. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Gorgeous Niang, Okoro might even hit a couple. Merrill off the bench. I'm not really ready to put my money on Denver defensively on the road quite yet. I look at a lot of half-court stuff. It's the same thing, right? Denver's defense hasn't been great. Cleveland's offense is pretty good in the half-court. Cleveland's offense in general, not pushing the pace a lot in transition over the last 5 games, but they still scoring the 3rd most points in transition. I think they have a really good matchup. On the opposite side, Denver, they can really struggle shooting the 3-point shot. Cleveland defense is not great from the 3-point line, but I think that they'll get up for this game. I think their defense will lock in here in this spot. If I look at Denver last 5 games, they are shooting the 3-point shot a little bit better. They're 30th in frequency, so they're not shooting a ton, but they are 7th in accuracy. I do expect Cleveland to be able to protect the rim here. So I like Cleveland in this spot, man. This number came down. It was at 4, came down to 3.5. Now it's going back up to 4. And I would agree with the movement there. There are some 3.5s in full transparency. I haven't taken it yet, but I'm going to try to find me a 3.5. ESPN Bet got a 3.5 right now. It looks like 4 pretty much everywhere else. So that's the handicap on the game. I like this game a lot for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that they take it serious. I consider it the over, but I don't think I'm going to get there with the total. But it would be Cavs team total over or Cavs against the spread minus 3.5 is the way that I would play it. Talked a lot because this is my favorite game on the board for today, but let's see what you guys are thinking about it. Joby Bessie, he went 2-0 yesterday for +3 units. Needed it after NBA smacked him on Tuesday. Yeah. I'm glad you got it back, GLB. Andrew says jaXon was fire. What up to my guy, Lightbearer? What up, G421? He says, what's good, Chris and chat? Atlanta covered yesterday. They did. We talked about it being a letdown spot for the Bucks yesterday, man. Super letdown spot. Super big letdown spot for the Bucks yesterday. What up to my guy, Prolific? Justin says, love when jaXon, me, and Chris all agreed. Let's go. So he likes them today as well. What up, Marquise? Jordan says, thank you for all your hard work you put in yesterday. Helps a lot of people, and that's what matters in life. Yeah, I appreciate this, Jordan. Appreciate this a lot, man. That's what I'm here for. That's why I got into doing this, just to kind of help people out. LJ says Nuggets are horrible in the first half. I consider first half, LJ. I know you probably already been on Money Baller. And if I was going to add a second play, it would definitely be Cavs early. We know that they've been absolute money-making machines in the first half at the crib. To put some numbers to that real quick, because LJ is correct. Denver has been playing a little bit better since they got the band back together over the last 4 or 5 games in the first half. But I don't really think I want anything to do with them in the first half on the road here. So ATS numbers, Cleveland 9-4 against the spread in the first half at the crib as a home favorite. And Denver as a road dog, just 1-3 against the number in the first half. So Cavs minus what? You probably could get a -2 in the first half. I do think that is playable. You can get a 1.5 right now if you got Hard Rock. They limit me to like $12 though, so I can't do anything with them. Fanatics haven't limited me yet. They got a minus. They got a 1.5 2, but it's super juice. But I think the 2 is good money too. You can get a 2 right now on DraftKings and Caesars for the first half. So I haven't played it, but those are my thoughts on this first game. I just kind of wanted to sleep on this one to see where the market was going to move to, but it'd be Cleveland minus the 3.5. Cleveland first half with LJ. First half -2 is the way that I would play it. What up, Atakri says, Chris, what's good? Hit him with the fade. Hit him with the fade to cup teams first half parlay. Appreciate you. I'm glad you cashed that. Yesterday, real quick, going back to my notes, I said unrested cup winners, 7-11 straight up, 5-13 against the spread, 27.8%, 1-10 against the spread in the last 11 games. Says to fade the Bucks, the Clippers, the 76ers, none of them covered. I was looking into that this morning. Glad you cashed that, Atakri. Let's see, what else? Mobley rebounds, Merrill says, like Jokic rebounds as well. He says MPJ goes over his 16.5 points and over his 22.5 points plus rebounds. It's been cashing like crazy. Okay. Charles says he likes the Cavs in a trifecta spot tonight. I don't think I'm going to play the first half. We'll see. Parky, we'll get to this game in a second. What up, Brian? Says Spurs my only player today. Lean Cavs here. Okay. What up, Jose? I think the 4 is still playable. I do think the 4 is still playable. I mean, it's 4 everywhere. So by the way my Lux works, I wouldn't be able to get the 3.5 anyway, because I probably wait till after the show and then be gone. But I haven't placed it yet. So I would essentially be getting a 4 too. What up, Mitchell? Taylor, what's good with you, bro? Hope all is well. Chappie Funk says, yeah, thanks, Chris, for your capping and knowledge. Appreciate that. Hey, shout out to my guy Justin. He says, y'all gotta admit my Hawks are like that. Well, let's pump the brake. Nah. I give them credit. They are playing some inspired basketball. Really love what they're doing. I will admit that they're playing really. They caught the Bucks slipping. The Bucks probably was on the plane back from Detroit, turned up. They probably had a little fun on the plane, man. No rest, coming off the cup win, knowing you're going to Vegas. The Hawks said, hold on now. Wait. We good too. Go in there, smoke them boys last night. Timeout says Denver on the road is not their spot. Cleveland money line on a 2-team parlay today. Couldn't talk you off. The Beach says, saw you on the sauce yesterday. This is my first time watching you. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Sean says top of the top. Clippers killed one ticket, but I faded the live at 24.5 and team total under 80.5 and 87.5. Darius Garland assists. My opinion, not yours. I can see that as well. Yeah, I definitely caught the Cavs slipping. Definitely caught them slipping. Donovan Mitchell was talking about, in so many words, he was being disrespectful, saying that, they was kind of trying stuff against y'all, Justin. But that was after the first game. Second game, no excuse. But they did have Boston on deck after the second game, too. Let's jump into the next one, man. I'm already taking too long. We got the Mavs and the Golden. Nothing golden about the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards, they are at the crib. Not going to lie to you guys. This line was at 10 less yesterday. 10 is what I saw the line at. It opened at 10. I had to do a double take. Before I could just even I don't like just looking at the lines and automatically handicapping fading teams. But I had to, make sure Mavs didn't have a look ahead spot or, something crazy coming up. I put a little bit of money on the Mavs. I didn't even get a chance to send it out. It had already moved to, I think I got 11. It's up to 13, 14 now. Didn't get a chance to send it out. None of that. It's gone. The total was at 235. This total's come down to 234.5. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? I go through and I look at it. The Mavs have been playing a lot. The Mavs have been playing faster. And if I'm giving you guys a full handicap, just real quick, I'm doing some reading this morning. Not the greatest spot for the Mavs, just because it's a non-conference game on the road. But the Mavs, for whatever reason, they play very well in non-conference games on the road. So let's get into it. So you got a long list of injury implications for the Washington Wizards. They had a couple guys lead that game the other day. What just happened? One second, y'all bear with me. Okay, I'm tripping. All right, what I'm looking for is right here. Okay, so Mavs had the Washington Wizards had a lot of guys lead a game the other day. They will be without Keontae George. not Keontae George, Keyshawn George. Corey Kisper's out, Kyle Kuzma's out, and Malcolm Brogdon is dealing with some knee soreness. He's probably not going to play either. You got a Wizards team that's 2-17, only 2 wins, came against the Atlanta Hawks earlier this season, and the Dallas Mavericks team that is balling. I'm not sure how you fade them right now. Dallas, 1 day's rest, 4 straight wins, 4 straight covers, 9-1 against the spread in their last 10, 9-1 straight up in their last 10. They did have to overcome a 15-point deficit in the third quarter against the Memphis Grizzlies the other day. I mean, they smoked the Grizzlies in the fourth quarter, which is one of the reasons why I like the Grizzlies. We're going to talk about that game in a second as well. And no look-ahead spot for the Dallas Mavericks either. You look at the Wizards, 1 day's rest, first game back home after 2-game road trip, lost in Cleveland by 31 the other day. I'm not sure why they don't lose by 20 again. When I say Washington, we always talk about Washington being bad. I was going through and putting some numbers to it earlier. Actually last night on Moneyballer. It don't get too much worse than this team, man. I always say that they're not a real basketball team. I'm not about to spend y'all time or my time going through all the numbers again. But just know it's like the Wizards are not just a bad offense; they're a bad defense. They don't get second chance points. They don't score in transition. They don't get offensive rebounds. They just bottom of the barrel everything here. So the line opened at 10. I probably play this up to 14 is what I would think. I do think that if you want to play it right now, you can still get involved. I expect the number to close a little bit bigger than this. I thought it was disrespectful that they thought the Washington Wizards was going to be able to keep the game within 10 points. I think also you can look at the team total under, and I'll talk about the team total in just a second. But when we're talking about the Mavs this season, talking about the Mavs going back to last season, when they are road favorites in non-conference games, 10-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 11 road games, and last 11 non-conference road games as favorites. So Western Conference teams, they're laying points, they win, they cover. I can't find a reason not to think that they're going to do it again here. Other thing I wanted to touch on real quick, and I think it was LJ that talked about it earlier, that Wizards team total, right? So Wizards team total is it was 111.5 last night. It's dropped now, I think, to 110.5. Should be 102.5, but the Wizards are 9-0 to their team total under as a home dog, both in the first half and in the full game. Home dog first half, 9-0 to the under, or whatever their first half team total is. We talked about this the other day, and it's been we talked about it last week. It's been an absolute moneymaker. Just fade the Wizards in the first half. If you want to take them for a game, I couldn't talk you off, but I do think, just with the injuries, to, some of their top guys, right now you can get 55.5. I don't think they're getting the 55.5 points. So Washington first half team total under, excuse me. And I'll admit, Dallas defensively has not been great over the last handful of games. But I'm going back and I'm looking at it. Dallas, and hold on, let me just put some numbers to that. So Dallas defensively, and they've been playing super fast, but put some numbers to Dallas. Dallas defensively, on the full season, they are 9th in defensive rating. Last 5 games, Dallas is 13th in defensive rating. Not forcing a lot of turnovers, giving up offensive rebounds, but like I said, the Wizards don't get offensive rebounds, so you don't got to worry about that. Wizards actually are getting the 5th fewest offensive rebounds. But here's the reason why I say Dallas defenses fell off a little bit. They just played against some really, really good teams. They played the Grizzlies, they gave up some points in that game. Grizzlies has the number 1 offense. They played the Timberwolves. That was on the Trailblazers, second leg of a back-to-back without Kyrie. Luka first game back. They gave up some points in that game. But it was the second leg of a back-to-back. They held the Jazz down. They also had the Knicks, number 1, number 2 rated offense over the last 5 games. They had the Hawks before that as well, and won that game. So I do expect, they haven't played against a lowly team like this in a very long time. The last time that they did it was against the Jazz, but even the Jazz are better than the Wizards, and they held the Jazz to 94 points. So I'm expecting them to clean these boys up here. I say all that to say that. Team total, full game, first half, I think both of those are in line in this game here. So I'll go through the comments real quick, and then we'll keep it pushing to the next game. You can get a team total. It's actually dropped to 109.5. FanDuel got the best number for the Wizards team total right now, though, at 109.5. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Justin got the Mavs minus 11.5 last night as well. Andrew says Mavs on fire on the road. Andrew says Jokic over his assists in that first game. He says as away favorites, I think they were the best ATS team last year. Yeah, I think 11-1. I'm pretty sure they don't get too much better than that. Rico says he's putting the Mavs in a money line parlay. I hope it's a parlay. Wizards team total under for Marquise. LJ says Kyrie's been balling versus the East, take his points over. I mean, anybody can do what they want against this team. You also got the revenge narrative. Daniel Gafford versus the old team. With all the Wizards players out, Luka rebounds has to be worth a look. My opinion, not yours, says. Luka over his 3.5 threes. He typically cashes that against them. I think I remember playing that last year in DC. What we doing if Klay Thompson what we doing with Klay Thompson points? He's on a I'm not sure if he's on a minute restriction or not. GLB Best says rested home dogs off a loss as a road favorite are 21-8. It says to take the Wizards, the Warriors, and the Pelicans. This cashed with the Nets yesterday, but I'm not sure I want to get there with the Wizards. Can't get there with the Wizards. 21-8 straight up is what GLB Bet says. She says, yep, I grabbed that team total under for the Wizards, and I'm thinking of the Hornets for the under as well. I did look at the Hornets. It was 99.5 last night. I think it's 101 right now. I'm looking at the Hornets team total 101. PJ over is 1.5 threes. Tomo says, I think I found my second teamer, Dallas, by 20. Honestly, I can't talk anybody off wanting to maybe not a full unit, but maybe if you play quarter unit plays, you take Dallas minus 19.5 in this spot. Set it and forget it is what you do with these boys. Kilo says, what up, Chris? Love the content as always. Appreciate you, Kilo. Lingowick says, when I see the Wizards, I look at the opposing team threes and player props. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. What else y'all talking about in this one? What up, gang? It's been a minute. What up, Ball Talk? Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the appreciation, my brother. JB likes the Mavs first half. Luka over 7.5 rebounds, says from Merrill. Blunt says Wizards been getting the doors blown off of them every game. Outside of that game where they covered against the Bucks on the Saturday, they are one of the worst offensive teams in the NBA. It's not even close. Let's keep it pushing. Next game up, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder. They will be in Toronto, laying 9.5 points on the road as a favorite. Did this line move? And the total is 227.5. At least that's what I saw that. It's come down to 226.5, and this actually opened with Toronto getting 8.5 points. So money has come in on the Oklahoma City Thunder to cover win this game, and to Toronto Raptors team total essentially to go under with the total dropping in the game for the full game. So real quick in this one, let's go injury report first. We have, and this is a game that I didn't do a deep dive in, but I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking. So Oklahoma City, same injury report. I actually don't even see Alex Caruso on the injury report. It's the Caruso. I feel like I did look into it a little bit yesterday. I thought Caruso was still gonna be out. Let me just double check it real quick. Let me go through the beat writer list real quick. I should be able to find it for you guys, but that could be big if Caruso comes back. Caruso will be available for Thursday night's game against the Raptors. Good to get him a couple of games under his belt before the NBA Cup game against Dallas on Tuesday. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. For the Toronto Raptors, they have Grady Dick listed as questionable in this game. I did write that in my notes yesterday, and he's the only person on the injury report for them that really moves the needle. I will say that Emmanuel Quickly is supposed to return soon, but it's not going to be tonight. Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk continue to remain out as well. So you got an Oklahoma City team coming off one day's rest. They beat the brakes off Utah the other day, beat them by 27 points. They play in New Orleans on Saturday, so no real look-ahead spot for them. 7-3 straight up, but just 5-4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games for Oklahoma City. They've been doing a lot of traveling, of course. That was their first game back home in their last game. Only played one home game, and then they're back on the road again. for another little road trip because they do play in New Orleans. Like I said on Saturday, that game is a second of two whole road games in a row. And on the Toronto side, team's balling right now, man. 1 day's rest, third straight home game for them, back-to-back wins versus the Miami Heat and the Indiana Pacers. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games, 7 of their last 10 games the Toronto Raptors have covered, and they're 6-4 against the 6-4 at home this season, straight up. 8-2 against the spread at the crib this season up in Canada. 7-3 to the over at home and 8-2 to the over on their team total over at the crib. So the Raptors play a lot better offensively at the crib, but you do got Oklahoma City, one of the better defensive teams coming in, trying to lock them up. You got SGA and a lot of narratives in this game as well. Probably the biggest Canadian game that you'll see outside of the Canadian team. You got Jamal Murray, not Jamal. I'm thinking about Canadians. I'm thinking Jamal Murray. You got Dort and SGA returning to their home country. We know RJ Barrett's there as well. So a lot of, the national Canadian team playing against each other or, just kind of being mingled all together in this game. Man, this is a tough game. Really, really tough game. I don't think if you guys have watched the show and you kind of feel my sentiments for the Oklahoma City Thunder, you know that I think that they're a really, really good team. There are not a lot of times that I'm going to want to bet against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'm not telling you guys that I want to tonight either. I'm not telling you guys that I'm going to tonight either. But I do kind of feel like Toronto can keep this game close. OKC, even with Isaiah Hartenstein back, they still struggle to rebound the basketball. They are last 5 games, and Hartenstein's been back for 5 games. Their opponent offensive rebound percentage is 26th in the NBA. They're allowing teams to get 30% of their misses. That's the 5th most in the NBA. What does Toronto do a great job of? 4th best offensive rebounding team over the last 5 games. Full season, Toronto, 2nd best offensive rebounding team over the full season. So I do kind of feel like that's too many points, 10 points in this game. Toronto's scrappy team at the crib. I already gave you guys the numbers. I kind of feel like Toronto can keep this game close, man. You don't need them to win, but I think they can keep it within the number. I was not quick to jump on OKC yesterday. I think the Raptors can keep this game close. Would be my sentiments in this game. OKC also beat them twice last season in the head-to-head matchup, so not sure how serious. Not that OKC is not a very professional team, but I'm not sure if they win the game by double digits is what I'm saying. I'm looking at Oklahoma City offensively. They're not really shooting the 3-point ball well. Middle of the pack there. 15th in frequency, 15th in accuracy over the last 5 games. Looking at the defense for Toronto, last 5 games, that's been their weakness. 24th in all 3 frequency for their opponents, and 21st in all 3 accuracy last 5 games, allowing teams to shoot about 37%. So if OKC's not going to be able to make a lot of their shots from the 3-point line, I kind of feel like defensively they match up. Scotty Barnes back. We know RJ Barrett continues to cash his player prop up and over his points prop when he plays at home in front of his home city. Home country. I kind of feel like they can keep it close, man. I really, really do. Toronto's defense in transition has been pretty good. They're not giving up a bunch of points off turnovers, which is something that OKC does a really good job of. I'm only taking the points here, man. It's only Raptors plus the points for me in this spot. Let's see what you guys are thinking about it, and we'll keep it moving. It is a game that I kind of wanted to do a little bit more deep diving on, but I don't like the way the market is going. I would be on the opposite side. I would grab me a plus 9.5 here, not laying 10 against a feisty Raptors team that could get a backdoor cover here, especially, with them being healthy in this spot. Let's see. Taking the over points for the final game, Rui says. Okay. Jalen Williams, points, rebounds, and assists, good money, averaging 22, 6, and 5. Toronto has trouble guarding the forward position, LJ says. Okay. G421 says, could it be a dog spot? Raptors been covering that plus 9.5 easy. Yeah. Like I said, the Raptors have been covering, and they've been, really, really good as a home dog this season. It's not the spot you want to fade them in my opinion. OKC Thunder Buddies all day, Andrew says. OKC money line for JM. That's a hell of a money line. Parky says, I think the Raptors are playing above their pay grade, and the Thunder come what? And the Thunder come smack them up. Okay, that could happen. Sean says, I'm on that Thunder. I'm on that 9.5, I guess, for the Thunder. Okay. Lingowick says Raptors +9. Scotty Barnes over his threes. RJ Barrett top scorer. Okay. Jakob Poeltl over his rebounds makes a ton of sense. SGA under his points. Going home is a distraction, Lingowick says. Okay. I would need to look a little bit more into that. What is that? Dimitro, I think is how you pronounce that. Dimitro. Jakob Poeltl double-double. Line movement has been everything in these in ball these days. It absolutely has. All right, cool. Don't sound like y'all got a lot of thoughts, a lot of comments on that one. Let's keep it pushing then. Next game we got up is the Hornets and the Knicks. This line open with the Knicks laying 14. Right now, I currently see them as 14.5 point favorites. Total open to 16.5. I see it up to 17.5. I won't be long on this one. I'm actually going to be pretty quick on this one. All right, so let's look at excuse me. Let's look at it. So we'll start with the injury report first. LaMelo's still out, Trey Mann's still out, and Miles Bridges are all still out, is what I saw. And I didn't do a deep dive into this game. I didn't really feel like I was that interested, honestly. On the Knicks side, same injury report. Only thing difference is Cam Payne is listed as game time decision. He's dealing with some buildup of fluid in his elbow joint, putting him in status for the game, and putting his status in game in jeopardy. Some left elbow in, I guess, efflusion. I thought that would be inflation, but anyway. So left elbow. I mean, Cam Payne's got a flicked left-handed jump shot, so maybe that's not great for him. But outside of that, we just saw these two teams play. Knicks won that game by 1 point in Charlotte, coming off a big cup win. Do we trust them laying 15 points against a Charlotte Hornets team that's been absolutely god-awful offensively? Can't say that I could bet against them. You look at the Knicks offensively last 5 games. They're the second rated number 2 in offensive rating, scoring 125.4 points per 100 possessions. 4th in effective field goal percentage, 9th in offensive rebound rate. That's problematic because Charlotte, while they got Mark Williams back the other day, they got Nick Richards back. They're still giving up the 27th most offensive rebounds, 27th in opponent offensive rebound percentage over the last 5 games. They are getting a ton of offensive rebounds, though. The number 1 offensive rebounding team, and that's one of the reasons they've been able to kind of keep the games close. The Knicks can do whatever they want in this spot, though. It's just how motivated are the Knicks going to be after coming off a big win against the Orlando Magic the other day. I'm not sure what their motivation is going to be. They can absolutely smoke the Charlotte Hornets. I'm pretty sure Charlotte's going to probably want to try to slow the game down. Initially, when I first started looking at the game, the first thing I thought about was I'm not laying 15 points with the New York Knicks. So then I think about, well, defensively, do I think we're going to get a good defensive effort from the Knicks? Or do I think that we're going to just see the Knicks kind of, lull through the game and score 98 points like they did against Charlotte the other day? I'm kind of the mindset that the Knicks can kind of name their number in this spot. I think if they want to come out, match the physicality of the Charlotte Hornets, who will be down a ton of offense in this game, they can get to 120 points, in my opinion. Charlotte defensively, we see them kind of have a little bit of a lax in that last game against the Philadelphia 76ers just 2 nights ago. So you got them first road game after quite a few home games. And this could be the straw that kind of breaks their back, in my opinion. Offensively, they're going to really struggle to get points in this game. Do they get to 101? That's a super low number. I think that I don't know if I trust the Knicks defensively enough, granted, given the situation. Like, the Knicks don't really care about locking up the Hornets. So that's what's conflicting for me here is I think the Knicks absolutely could get to 115 points. That's where their team total sits right now. 115, I see on Bet365. They could absolutely get to 116, in my opinion. averaging 126 points over their last 5 games. So I guess that would be my consideration in this spot. That's the only thing that I'm looking at would be the Knicks team total. I don't think I can lay this big of a number with them here. Knicks first half, Curtis says potentially. Like I said, it's not a game that I took I'll do more work on the game, but not too much more work. But I'll look a little bit deeper into the trends and all of those good things. This is really one of those motivational spots. This reminds me a little bit of Boston and in Detroit yesterday. I don't even know. Did Boston cover? I just played the team total. I don't even know how the game even finished. I turned it off about 6 minutes left as soon as that team total cashed. But this kind of reminds me of that game a little bit. And Boston didn't cover. Boston scored 130. They didn't cover. I think the line came down to 12.5. Detroit covered. And I kind of feel like, I know Charlotte is definitely not as good as Detroit, but it kind of gives me those kind of vibes for this game. Well, I don't think they're going to be super locked in. My opinion, not yours. If you bet this game, call a number. Charles says back with it. Appreciate you for tapping in, Justin. LJ says Knicks first half full game at the crib. Real quick, this comment from LJ kind of makes me think, who was it? It was Keelan, I think, the other day gave out that wire to wire win. I could see this being like, if you want to parlay this with another wire to wire or money line or something, I think that could be a good bet. So wire to wire is just make sure that you need the team that you pick to have the lead at the end of the first quarter, the end of the first half, the end of the third quarter, and for them just to win the game. So it's really like a money line for every quarter all together. I do think that the Hornets don't touch a lead in this game at any of the quarters. So that's a way that you could, just to use it as a parlay piece. Just add that to a parlay piece. I agree with that. Timeout says the Knicks are a weapon for Vegas, not touching this game. I can see that. Knicks team total over 116.5. That's the way that I would play it, Drop of Dimes. Only way that I'm looking at it. He says, backwood this big. Get this game out of here, Chris. Let's do something else. What up, Ski? Hope all is well with you, bro. Ski had a little clean sweep yesterday. Little clean sweep. I like that 3-0 sweep Ski had yesterday. Stay hot, Ski. Stay hot, my boy. Marquis says he got Josh Hart double-double. Josh Hart, I think he had a triple-double last game. I said that he would have a big game against a big physical Orlando team the other day. He did just that. Next game up, we got the Kings and the Grizzlies. Line is moving currently as we speak. I see it all the way down to 3. And this graphic is up from last night when I did the lines, or earlier this morning when I did the lines. This opened with the Grizzlies laying 4.5 at the crib. Number has come all the way down to 2.5 on BetMGM, down to 3. People are putting their money on the Kings in this spot, and a little bit of money also coming in on the under here as well, pushing the total from this 242.5 at open down to 241.5. Boy, I don't think I agree. I do not think I agree at all. Let's go through the injury report real quick. So same injury report for Sacramento. Trey Lyles is still out. I think he's going to be out for like another 2.5 weeks. We know Sacramento got Kevin Huerter back the other day. Kevin Huerter is now coming off the bench. Malik Monk is going to stay in that starting lineup. He had a very good game the other day. Had 12 assists with no turnovers, I think, for Malik Monk against the Houston Rockets. And they took my money against the Rockets the other day. And now you got the Memphis Grizzlies. They are going to continue to be without Zach Edey. Gigi Williams, I think, is supposed to be back in about 6 to 8 weeks. Vince Williams is also continues to remain out. So that's the injury report. As far as the situational spot, you do have, I was looking into this yesterday. I didn't write this down though. Like I said, I got a little bit more work to do on this game specifically, but let's just talk it out real quick. So you do have, I know Sacramento is on the first leg of a back-to-back, I want to say. No, yeah, Sacramento first leg of a back-to-back. And they have been god-awful. 3-7 straight up, 2-8 against the spread in the last 10 games. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They play against the San Antonio Spurs tomorrow. So short travel for them tomorrow. Big win against the Rockets the other day. For people who wasn't watching that game in the second quarter, Dylan Brooks kind of flopped, and De'Aaron Fox Jabari Smith Jr. flopped. De'Aaron Fox said something to what's the instigator name? Dylan Brooks. put his hand in his face, and it kind of woke De'Aaron Fox up. He started killing him after that. Nothing they could do. De'Aaron Fox went absolutely crazy in that game. I think Sengun ended up getting thrown out the game. Udoka was fired up after the game. He was upset, said that the refs missed a bunch of calls. So Vegas was right on that one because the sharp money came in on Sacramento in that spot. On the Memphis side, this team had been red hot, 7-3 straight up. But they were actually 8-2 straight up, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games. They went to Dallas, lost that game outright by 5, which is crazy to me that they lost the game by 5. They were getting 4.5 points. They had a 15-point lead in the third quarter. And I feel like they're gonna get some calls today just because of how that game ended. So I was reading through it this morning, and real quick, just to go back through it and give you guys what I was reading. There was Dallas overcame the 15-point deficit in large part due to the Grizzlies turning the ball over. They couldn't stop turning the ball over in the fourth quarter, but also it was a humongous foul discrepancy. And according to ESPN stats and info, there was the largest discrepancy in free throw shooting in a quarter since 2015. You saw the Dallas Mavericks shoot, 26 free throws in the fourth quarter. The Memphis Grizzlies, who get to the rim and attack the paint more than any other team in the NBA, shot 3 free throws in the fourth quarter. So 26-3 was the free throw discrepancy. I kind of feel like they owe them in this spot. That's not the whole handicap. There's also that the Kings don't do the greatest job of protecting the rim. It's also that the Kings are that Memphis is really good at the crib. It's also that I'm not sure who's going to guard Ja Morant. It's also that I think it's a perfect bounce back spot after a game that they probably should have won in the last one. I don't agree with the line here, man. I know Sacramento can be feisty. I know that they can play better on the road, but the smaller the number gets, the more I want the Grizzlies. At 2.5, I'm probably gonna end up getting there. I see 2.5 right now. It's over on BetMGM, but I have not played the game quite yet. And real quick, let's just go through it a little bit more. So Memphis, Sacramento, last 5 games, 10th best offensive team. They are 6th best in offensive rebound rate. Outside of that, they're not doing anything else really great. Memphis defensively, 3rd best defense, 2nd in effective field goal percentage, forced to 7 most turnovers. They only fouling a lot. That's the only thing. They're fouling at the 3rd highest rate over the last 5 games. Offensively, 6th in offensive rating, 7th in effective field goal percentage. The Kings are not shooting the 3-point shot well. 28th in frequency, not even shooting a bunch. 18th in accuracy. They are scoring in the paint. 6th in frequency, 6th in accuracy over the last 5 games. But Memphis, 7th in opponent paint accuracy. So they're doing a pretty good job protecting the paint. If I look at Sacramento in the half court, offense been middle of the pack, 16th in half court points per play, right at about 97.9 per game. Memphis, 2nd best defense in the half court. Sacramento, 8th best offensive rebounding team in the half court. Memphis is giving up some offensive rebounds, the 8th most. So they're gonna have to do a better job of protecting the rim. And with Zach Edey missing, I think that's kind of played a toll real in that part specifically. Sacramento not really running a lot, 23rd in frequency, 7th in points though, in transition frequency. And Memphis, they are giving up the 8th most points in transition frequency. So you can poke some holes in Memphis, I guess, over the last five games. We flip this and look at Memphis offensively and look at Sacramento defensively real quick. All right, so we got a Memphis team that's attacking the rim. They're doing a really good job of getting into the paint in general. 4th in frequency, 5th in accuracy, and that's where the Kings struggle. They're 22nd and 26th in frequency and accuracy over the last 5 games. I see Ja Morant putting his head down, getting to the rim here. Half court offense, 9th in points scored per 100 possessions. Sacramento allowing the 2nd most points in the half court. Memphis also number 1 in frequency as far as getting out and running. Sacramento been doing a pretty good job of limiting teams from getting out and running. They're 5th in frequency and limiting teams in frequency and 3rd in points. So that says that Sacramento does get back and make Memphis have to score in the half court. So maybe total under. Both teams playing with Sacramento not playing with as much pace. 14th in pace. Memphis playing at the top pace in the NBA for the full season. Yeah, I like Memphis. I like Memphis minus the 2.5. I know I talked a lot. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Memphis spot chasing the bag says. LJ says just get in and get out. Grizzlies first half at home. Enough said. They have been really profitable in the first half, and I haven't even been to Money Baller, but I'll pull it up real quick and we can read off some of those trends real quick too. Real quick, let me check something. All right, I just want to check something. All right. Let's see. What up, chasing the bag? Any EuroLeague, Chris? Nah, no EuroLeague at all for me. Memphis all day, Andrew says. Memphis putting belt to the behind, Adonis says. Sacramento is on do not bet, but nice win against Houston. Malik Monk assists. He's finally been unleashed off the bench. Dougie, I woke up and I thought about that this morning because I just mentioned he had 12 assists in that last game. I do kind of feel like if you can find Malik Monk assist before the books start to adjust the line, because they're not going to adjust it after one good game. They might, increase it a little bit, but I could see Monk having, another pretty good assist game. The question is how much of it is they got three guys that can get, 10 assists with Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. So like will that trend kind of continue itself is what I'm thinking. And I'm not quite sure if I'm being honest. Real quick, let's see if we can find. And I would also want to see how many potentials he had in that last game. Let's see if we can find a number for Malik Monk assists real quick. He is listed at 5.5. At plus 115 right now as well. Open 4.5. No, open 5.5. Got bet to 4.5. Back up to 5.5. Back down to 4.5. Back up to 5.5. Okay. So all that happens is 2:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's going up and over the total 4 straight games. And I think that is just him playing a little bit more minutes in general, not even being in the starting lineup, but they're probably without Kevin Huerter. He's getting starter minutes now. Potential assists, 16, 14, 13, and 16 over his last 4 games. So, yeah, I mean, you don't got to be a rocket scientist to tell you that he probably going to get to 6 if he's getting, 16 potentials in 2 of his last 4 games, and the 2 that he don't get to 16, he had 14 and 13. I think Malik Monk assists is a pretty good look, even on the road. I would also need to, I like it at plus money too. I would also need to look at, I would have to compare this to Sabonis and Fox though. Can't just play it off of that in my opinion. What's the difference between Zach LaVine and Malik Monk? Age and hair. Grizzlies all day here. Moneyball says, pin the injury report. Houston coming off a win versus Memphis. Been hot. Ugly loss versus Dallas, although I was on Dallas in that spot. Drop a Dime says, called me crazy. I think Fox might be the next star that wants out. I don't think that's crazy at all. He turned down the contract extension. I don't think that's crazy. Moneyball says, I hate to say easy money. I hate when they say easy money. Nothing is easy. But yeah, he likes the Grizzlies here. I like the Grizzlies too. What up? Tariq says, good morning. Catching your show for a bit. John mentioned in the interview that he's trying to avoid dunking. I've seen that to prevent injuries. I would start looking at his assist prop. I don't think that means he's going to not try to get to the rim, Tariq, because I did read the interview. Like I watched the interview and read the comments as well. He was just saying, I think he just doesn't want to dunk in general. I think he's still going to try to get to the rim and finish. And I don't think he's going to stop dunking. Like when you say stuff like that, it's cool to say it. It's something else to like be in the air and like have to retrain your whole thought process. Josh so used to dunking, hanging on the rim because he's up so high, so he doesn't, fall and hurt himself and have, kind of bracing his fall, like giving himself to something to kind of maintain his balance. I don't think he's about to stop dunking, but that's just my opinion. Let's see. Kings 3-point defense. Coop says Grizzlies at the crib. All day at the crib. I like it. Fremont says Grizzlies trifecta as well. Short, sweet, simple. Memphis, Andrew says. You get that a potential assist stat from jaXon? Nah, but I think you can get it from jaXon as well. I didn't get it from jaXon though. Marquis says, I like the Kings team total over 2. Okay. Mark says, what about just first half for the Grizzlies? So going back to it real quick, I know you've seen this already, Mark, because you're already on Money Baller. But the Grizzlies, put some numbers to that. Grizzlies are 16-6 in the first half against the number. 8-3 in the first half as a home favorite against the number. The Kings have been road dogs twice this season in the first half, 1-2 against the spread. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, I wouldn't fade the Grizzlies at the crib in the first place. Like, that's just not something that seems profitable in my opinion. First half number right now, best number you can get is probably like a 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 on Bet365. Only 5 cents of juice attached if you like the Grizzlies early. And could not talk you off. Memphis minus 2.5. And Memphis first half. I'm writing both of those down right now. Minus 1.5. Best numbers available right now. Malik Monk over his 20.5 points and assists. He said he's going to put them together, Merrill says. Desmond Bane over his 4.5 rebounds. The bonus 23.5 points plus assists. Mark says, thanks, Grizzlies. All right, let's keep it moving. Next game up, we have... Not sure why my logo didn't pop up. But this should say Bulls and Spurs. Matter of fact, let's skip Bulls and Spurs. I know Wemby's out. I didn't really get a chance to really handicap that game too much. I'll probably talk about that one a little bit later. So next game we got up is the Suns and the Pelicans. Also a game that, honestly, I really don't want to talk about this one either. Yeah, I think we'll skip this one too. And it's really just for the injury report. Kevin Durant's going to be out for about a week for people who don't know. Ryan Dunn is listed as game time decision. Nurkic is going to continue to remain out for the Pelicans' first game back home after a nice little road trip. They ended up getting smoked, didn't cover the number in Atlanta the other day. Brandon Ingram is game time decision, truly questionable, which is one of the reasons why I don't want to play the game and don't even want to talk about it if I'm being honest. They do get Herb Jones potentially could return in this spot. Jose Alvarado remains out. Zion's going to be out another week. I don't know if you guys saw that yesterday, but all of those things are happening, and I'm just really don't. Jordan Hawkins is out for another week. Like, it's too much going on in this game. This is the game that you want to back with, in my opinion. So let's go to the last game on the board. We got the Rockets and the Warriors. Line open with the Rockets. I think they were laying. I think the Golden State Warriors were laying. What was it? They were laying 3, and the line, flipped pretty much immediately when Draymond Green was ruled out, and then Steph Curry was also ruled out yesterday. Also saw Fred VanVleet is listed as questionable in this game. Tari Eason is going to be out. For Fred VanVleet is right knee contusion. And then also on the opposite side, you got Wiggins. True game time decision. I think he's listed as questionable with right ankle impingement is what I'm reading. So yeah, a couple big injuries for the Golden State Warriors. Can we trust the Houston Rockets is the first question you got to ask yourself. On the road, they of course just lost to the Kings, and we know that the Warriors are better than the Kings, but how good are the Warriors when they don't have Steph and they don't have Draymond is the question, and potentially no Wiggins. The way I think the best play in this game, and the thing that I was thinking about last night was just the total. It's coming back up. I don't agree with it. You can get a 222.5 right now. I know that both of these teams have been playing fast, but I looked at the Golden State Warriors this year without Steph and Draymond on the floor. I mean, you kind of imagine that, it's not a great offense. We saw how much Steph had to do offensively in that game in Denver the other day without Draymond. I think he had not a career high, but he had a season high in assists. I want to say he had like 10 or 12 or something like that. And so if you take both of your primary point guards out of the game, because we know Draymond is a point forward, I'm kind of the mindset that the Rockets come in here and lock the Golden State Warriors up. I know that the Warriors will probably, in my opinion, want to run slower. If the Rockets don't have Fred VanVleet, I don't think that they're going to run as fast, and I think that they can win the game with their defense. You also got a revenge spot for Houston. We know that they lost to the Golden State Warriors when they played early this season. Of course, Draymond and Steph were both a part of that game in Houston. And when I was looking into it last night, I isolated on per cleaning the glass. I looked at the Warriors without Steph and Draymond on the floor together, and they were averaging 97 points per 100 possessions, over 622 possessions this season. 97 points per 100 possessions. I just think you take the under. I'm not sure how the Warriors get to their team total. I know this is one of those super tricky games, especially with Fred VanVleet being questionable and Wiggins on the opposite side. But you got a Golden State team total right now that's 109.5. I think it was 110 last night. I think that's the best play in the game. Just looking at the team total to go under. The Rockets should win this game. They absolutely should. No Steph, no Draymond, but the line is pretty fishy. It's already flipped 3 points. It's moving towards Golden State, moving towards Houston. At 3.5. I probably would just look towards the under. I feel like every time Golden State's a home dog, the best play that you can take is the under. Probably play a little bit slower without Draymond and Steph, in my opinion. And offensively, they have not looked great either. The Golden State Warriors. To put some numbers to just the Warriors in general, real quick, I know that they've hit the under a bunch of times in a row. 1, 2, 3 games in a row. 4, 5, 6, 7 of their last 8 games have actually gone under. Their offense they got 115 against Denver, 105 against Phoenix, 101 against OKC. They did score 120 against Brooklyn, but only 94 against the San Antonio Spurs. And we know that the Rockets probably in a nice little bounce back spot after giving up 120 points to the Sacramento Kings. This is still one of the premier defenses in the NBA. I gave out their defensive numbers last game against Sacramento, and I kind of feel like they should, be in a nice little bounce back spot here. They don't have a game tomorrow. They actually got 2 days off. After this game, they don't play again until they play the Clippers on whenever that would be, I think on Sunday. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back for the Golden State Warriors with the Timberwolves on deck tomorrow as well. So all that being said, I like Houston and I like Golden State team total under 109.5. I think that those are the best ways to play this game. Interesting to see that the numbers haven't moved though. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Moneyball says this game is a mess. What else? Sean says 1-800 gambling game for one of them that we talked about. GLB Best says take the Pelicans on the spread. Take them plus the points in that last game. He says they go to spread on the spread too. Moneyball says opposite. Rockets -3. Not super excited about it. Probably won't bet it. Sengun over his 3.5 assists. So I don't know what Sengun rebounds is. Real quick, let's look at Sengun rebounds. But we know Golden State gives up a ton of rebounds to the center position. I think the most rebounds. So looking at Sengun over his rebound prop should probably be on the short list for today as well. Let's see. You can get Sengun rebounds right now, especially without Draymond. I feel like he should have a pretty good rebounding game. He has actually gone, it's at 10.5. It's juiced to the over, -120. And I like it because he's actually only hit it in 3 of his last 10 games. And they still got it at 10.5. And it's juice. That lets me know that he's probably going to get it. Probably going to be a bunch of missed shots in this game as well with the Golden State Warriors offense not being as efficient. He's gone up and over only in 2 of his last 3 games, though. He didn't get there against Sacramento. He was also ejected. I'm not sure how many minutes he actually played in that game. He played 30 minutes in that game, but he's averaging 33 minutes. Rebound chances, 25 in 2 of his last 3 games, 16 against Sacramento. Yeah, I like this number. I like this number for Sengun a lot. Head to head, he had 10 rebounds against Golden State in the game that they played earlier this season. He had 13 against them in one of the games last season and 5 against them in one of the games last season. So take with those numbers and do what you want. I think Sengun should be able to get there with his rebounds prop today. It's probably something that I might add to the short list as well. Yeah, Kings caught fire from the 3-point line. They did in that last game. And real quick, let's match these 2 teams up real quick. So let's see if Golden State should be able to score against Houston in this spot. Last 5 games, Golden State offense is 22nd in points scored per 100 possessions. They're scoring 110.3, and that's with Steph. And a couple of those games had Draymond as well. 25th in effective field goal percentage, only shooting 51.6% effective field goal percentage shooting, which is a combination of 3-point shots with 2-point shots. Shooting the second fewest free throws. They are protecting the ball. That's the one thing that they are doing a good job of. That's really all they're doing a good job of on the offensive end. Defensively, they've fallen off a cliff. 20th in points allowed per 100 possessions, 23rd in effective field goal percentage, not forcing turnovers. They are limited in offensive rebounds. They're actually the number one team in opponent offensive rebounds. And they're fouling at the second highest rate, which is important because Houston shoots the second most free throws over the last 5 games. So, yeah, as I go through it, it does say that Houston, let's see, Golden State is not even shooting a ton of threes anymore. They actually, well, I guess they are. 6th and above the break 3 frequency, 7th in overall 3 frequency, but without Steph, pretty sure they're still going to want to get him up. I'm not sure if it's going to look the same, though. They don't attack the rim. The Houston Rockets on the full season, 10th best in 3-point defense, 13th in above the break 3 defense, 5th in corner 3 defense. Last 5 games, 8th, 16th, and 4th in those 3 categories as well. Golden State not getting out and pushing pace, 29th in frequency, so they are moving pretty fast. Houston Rockets have been giving up points in transition. They're 24th in their half court, in their transition defense. Half court, Golden State bottom 10 in scoring last 5 games. Houston top 10 in half court defense. So Golden State's probably going to want to try to get out and push pace in this game. I think Houston probably gets back on defense after that loss against the Clippers, though, against the Kings. So yeah, I think we did a pretty good job here. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. No Steph, no Draymond. I like Kuminga. Got to do some more research, Vaughn says. Okay. Rockets are my only concern. Rockets are only concerned about going to Vegas right now for the NBA Cup. Trust me, LJ says. Okay. Warriors waving the flag. This game will come ready to play in the Cup. Both teams maybe the Cup. We'll see. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. They probably both want to win the Cup. The Warriors rested Draymond in that last game, so that makes a lot of sense. I can see that. Rockets could rest VanVleet. I agree with that. You got to go back and check that out, Dougie Bone. All you got to do is hit the rewind button, my brother. Chad says Kings today. Grizzlies look like easy money, but it's an illusion. We'd be on the opposite side today, Chad. I didn't bet it, but I like the Grizzlies at the crib -2.5. Sengun triple-double for Tavon, especially if Fred VanVleet doesn't play. Looking at some Sengun assist props as well. I could see Sengun having a big day if Fred VanVleet is ultimately ruled out in this game. All right, let's jump into a quick recap. Over an hour talking through all of these games. Let's get into the top looks on the board for today. After talking about, so I wrote Cleveland. I had already wrote Cleveland down. I think that team total is 115.5 for the New York Knickerbockers. If I get there, Cleveland first half -2 is available. Washington first half team total under 55.5 because they're not a real basketball team. Memphis -2.5. Wait to see where that number goes to, though, is what I would do. I wouldn't play it right now. Memphis first half -1.5. If they don't cover the full game, can expect them to bounce back in the first half, in my opinion. So I'll put this up so you guys can see it. Malik Monk assists at 5.5, also on the short list. Watch out what happens with Sengun. Yeah, haven't made. Only thing that I bet, and like I said, I couldn't even send it out because the number moved so fast, was I bet Dallas last night. Dallas -11, but that number is 14 right now. So, or 13.5 or something. I'd still play it if I'm being honest with you guys. Wizards not a real basketball team, and they depleted, and it's moving to 14.5. So, these would be the top looks for myself today. It's a couple of things that we didn't talk about that aren't up here. Like I said, Malik Monk assists, I think will go on this list as well. Whatever you guys are betting today, man, I'm sending all the positive vibes to you guys, hoping that you cash out whatever it is that you do play. I don't say this as often as I should, but I do appreciate everybody for tapping in as always. Yeah, all the great insight, like everybody that comes on the show, you know, in the comment section, talking the games out with me. I do really appreciate you guys. Because if y'all didn't, I still come on here and talk to myself. I don't care. But I love talking the games out with you guys. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in today, man. Resources for myself. And if you do want access, go back real quick. If you want access to whatever it is that I'm betting, I send the plays out to the members through the YouTube chat if people are interested in joining and becoming a member. Resources that I use to handicap the games are all here. Check jaXon out. I talked about him at the top of the show. 50% discount code in the description of the video. Same thing for Moneyballer and for OddsJam as well. 20% over on OddsJam. No referral code CBC over there. Link for these, all of these are in the description of the video. So check them out if you get a chance. Best of luck on all your action today, man. I do really appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. On whatever it is that you're betting, I hope that you guys cash. Enjoy your Thursday. It's like 5 degrees in Virginia, so stay warm. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow, man. Friday, NBA ChrisBeCappinn Show. I see you guys then. Enjoy your Friday, man. I'm out.